Yo, this your boy CEO Hockley. Real quick, man. Today's episode is being sponsored by OGHollywoodspeaks.com. Yes, that's right. OGHollywoodspeaks.com has this fly gear, man. Savage Drive, man. He has this very fly gear, man. He's a former prisoner that changed his life, did 25 years after receiving a life sentence, got home, and he been home 10 years, man. He's been out, he's been free 10 years. He has his own clothing line called Savage Drive. It represents the kind of drive you need to have to make it to the top, the kind of drive you need to have to stay free, right? And as we talk about this prison topic, I want to highlight and show and give respects to those that have been to prison and that are doing the right things in today's society. Everybody go to OGHollywoodspeaks.com and get that Savage Drive. If you got the drive it takes to be successful, man, support him. Also, you can follow him on YouTube. You can follow him on all social medias at OGHollywoodspeaks.com. We appreciate the support here at CEO Talk, and we also like to support other black people doing something positive, man. Savage Drive, that is the clothing line. Get yours today. Salute.
What's good, man? Savage Drive, www.com, OG Hollywood Speaks, man. Y'all go there and get that Savage Drive good, right? Man, today, guess what? First of all, I appreciate y'all for supporting the channel, man. The channel is growing at an enormous rate, man. Shout out to my boy CEO Hockley, man, as we always run that day room topic, man. But guess what? We'll be back with the day room tomorrow. But today, I want to bring a topic to y'all attention, man, that prison ain't nothing to play with, man. Prison is nothing to play with, man, because you know why? If you do the time, you're going to have to do the motherfucking time. I say it again. If you do the crime, you're going to do the time. And sometimes everybody can't do that. There's a lot of people can't do time that do the crime. Why they do it, I don't know. We on here every week, week in and week out, stressing that they're giving away a bunch of time. However, people still continue to commit crimes, man. People still continue to commit crimes, man, regardless of whatever they see, regardless of whatever they hear, regardless. And the worst kind of time you can get is a time that begins with this. And for those that don't know what that is, that's an L. In other words, a life sentence. Some get life sentences with the possibility of making parole. Some get life sentences with the possibility of not making parole. But however you draw it up, a life sentence is a life sentence. And that motherfucker is very hard to do. Ask me, I did one. 25 years flat in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. A lot of motherfucking dark days. But it's not one time that I think about taking my own life. But that's me. Other people are different. Other people are different. But people take their life every day in prison, man. Some we hear about, some we don't hear about. And they're not all individuals that are fake or all individuals that are real. It's the pressure of being in prison, knowing you got a life sentence, and guess what? That shit is hard. And sometimes just being there away from people that you love is even harder. If you've never been behind a screen in a visitation room and have to communicate like that, you don't even know what it feels like. But most importantly, you don't even have to know what it feels like. All you have to do is listen to the people that's been to prison. Once again, all you have to do the majority of the time is listen to the people that's been to prison. Some stories are real. Some stories are fake. Some stories are told for laughter. But here at the Ferguson Chronicle, the stories are told, man. And for anybody that has watched this channel and watch it grow at a enormous rate and bring people here that are only talked about, and where we bring those people to life, this is a reality, man. That prison gonna exist, man, until the end of time, man. And they gonna continue to give out a bunch of fucking time, man. They gonna continue to give out a bunch of time. But like I said, no matter how many times me and CEO Hockey, aka Criptonite, come to this screening and give out what they call free game. That's what they say in society's game. But once you get in that motherfucker, game is on. And it's a mental game that's being played by the people that's in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, right? But it starts in whatever county jail that you get convicted in. That's where the game starts at. Even then, it's not a game. People just have named it that, the game. But when you get a life sentence or a substantial amount of time, all games are off. All games are off. Why? Because that shit just got real for you. When you walk down the hallway and you hear all that fucking noise and you find yourself looking both side to side, reality sets in, especially when you got a bunch of time. Damn, I'm never getting out of this motherfucker. What I'm gonna do? What am I gonna do? Well, I tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna do two things. Either you're gonna do what this man did that I'm about to show you this video, or you're gonna do it time. One way or the other. There's no in between this shit. Like I said, most people can't handle it. It's way too real for them. But it only gets real when they get there. It only gets real when they get there. But you don't even have to go. You don't have to go. But I understand. Going to jail, going to prison is being cool now in society. You don't get your stripes or you don't become gangster until you get incarcerated in somebody's institution. That's where you get your name from. Wrong answer. What you get in that motherfucker is a bunch of mental heartache and pain. I like to call it expensive pain. But like I say, you don't even have to go. It's so much shit to do out here in society, man. Why go to prison? Unless you are trying to avoid the responsibilities of society. And sometimes people go to prison because they don't want to pay the light bill. Sometimes people go to prison because Christmas come around. Sometimes people go to prison because it's more easier to deal with a structured environment than to make a structured environment in society. But to each his own. But the end result of that shit is emotionally wear and tear. And that shit can lead you to doing something that you never ever thought you'd do in your life. Like kill yourself. That motherfucker is just that tough. It's just that tough. And like I said, I'm about to show you a video of a man that did some horrendous crimes when he was free. But the minute he was sent to Savage Drive, he took his own life. He took his own life. Why? Because when he got in them hallways and he looked on both sides. And that motherfucker is one long hallway. You can look from one end to the next. And I can remember it like it was yesterday. But the physical brutality of that motherfucker is over with. It's all mental now. It's so mental to when they give you a life sentence. When they give you a life sentence with or without parole, that's a long stretch. And most people in society can't do one day enough. It's hard, man. As we say, as old convicts, it's tough out there, man. It's tough out there. Those that are real when they get there, somehow turn fake. The masquerade that they put on in society, that shit disappears once you're inside of any institution, man. You realize ain't no way out. You in this bitch, and the only way you get out of that bitch is two ways, like I said. By suicide or you do the time. Once again, man, what I'm about to show you is a man that couldn't do time, but he did some horrendous crimes. And he was sent to this address right here, man, to serve his life sentence. To serve his life sentence, man, without parole. Watch this, man.
Here at 6:30, we begin with two deaths, both connected to the same communities.
ABC 13 started asking questions after Tyler Clark was found dead inside his jail cell. This less than 4 months after he was convicted of family violence, aggravated kidnapping, sentenced to life in prison.
But he's not the only death that we are learning of tonight. ABC 13's Micah Hatfield joining us now live from Montgomery County with more on this story.
Well, this is a case we covered just recently. We were at Tyler Clark's sentencing, and there were fireworks that day. It was a memorable one. He was sentenced to life in prison now less than 4 months later, and he has completed that life sentence.
But I'm going to read my statement. Whether you want to hear it or not, I'm going to be the last voice that you hear before you spend the rest of your life in prison.
And little did Tyler Clark's victim know when she made that statement in court that the rest of his life would only be less than 4 more months. A report filed with the state says 31-year-old Clark died from asphyxiation from hanging, a suicide, on March 24th. He was found unresponsive in his prison cell in Midway, Texas. Clark was convicted of family violence and aggravated kidnapping and sentenced to life. He brutally beat his girlfriend at the time to the point where she was unrecognizable while he had her in his tow truck and dumped her off at a park. He and the victim, in this case, went back and forth as she read her impact statement in court in December.
Guess what? Guess what, Tyler? What is this about? This is about you hurting me. This is not about anything else.
Clark was in the process of appealing his conviction at the time of his death, but 3 weeks prior to his own death, his hired attorney representing him, Austin Smith, was found dead in a car. The medical examiner ruled that he died from the toxic effects of several drugs. Obviously now, Clark's appeal will be closed out since his death. Records show there have been 5 suicides at the Ferguson Unit where he was housed in the last 5 years. According to TDCJ, the unit houses 2,400 inmates.
Five suicides. Ferguson Unit house, 2,400 inmates. Those killings were just a number that they keep up with. And this was the latest killing. He just got there months ago and couldn't handle the pressure of prison. He couldn't handle it. So what did he do? He checked out. But as you saw, like I saw, he beat that girl to a pulp. Everybody in society, man, is tough until they get the life sentence or the big time. Then the real man show up. The real man show up. And the real man showed up in this case. He killed himself. It don't matter where you go, you who you are when you get there. Like I said, man, don't do the motherfucking crime if you can't do the time. As the youth say in society, they standing on business. This is the business they're standing on. This is the business that me and CEO Hockley talk about. This is the pressure of prison right here. Prime example. I can't make this shit up. And where did it happen at? The Ferguson Unit. By coincidence. It's changed in one way, and the other way it hasn't changed. The one hallway is still there. There's extra added pressure when you only got two ways to look, and you asking yourself, which way do I go? In this case, he either went up or he went down. But we know one thing. He's not with us no more, especially to complete that life sentence. Everybody can't do a life sentence. Everybody can't do it. Everybody don't have the physical or mental strength or the mental fortitude to do that shit. I did one. I know what it feel like. It's dark. And you don't know whether you're going or coming until you get to know who you are. But once again, you don't even have to go that route. Just know that this shit is real. And what I'm bringing again is real life people with a real life story. And that's what I brought you on the Ferguson Unit. So like I said, man, shout out to my boy CEO Hockley. Shout out to my boy CEO Hockley for always telling his truth. But some don't see it that way. Some don't see it that way. These are the stories that me and him talk about that most men can't handle. Because we know one thing, it's the mental pressure of prison that make your ass check out. It's the mental pressure of prison that make you check out. So y'all remember to hit that like button and that subscribe button, man. And like I said, for those that contribute to the channel and continue to help make it grow, salute to y'all. Because this is the people's channel, man. Where we keep it 110 all the way across, man. Like I said, remember to hit the like button and the subscribe button. And we're going to continue to bring this motherfucker real to you. It don't get no realer than what I just showed you. It ain't no game, man. Until they're on time, man, salute. Y'all stay up and y'all stay free.
Yo, this your boy CEO Hockley. Real quick, man, today's episode is being sponsored by OGHollywoodspeaks.com. Yes, that's right. OGHollywoodspeaks.com has this fly gear, man. Savage Drive, man. He has this very fly gear, man. He's a former prisoner that changed his life, did 25 years after receiving a life sentence, got home, and he been home 10 years, man. He's been out, he's been free 10 years. He has his own clothing line called Savage Drive. It represents the kind of drive you need to have to make it to the top, the kind of drive you need to have to stay free, right? And as we talk about this prison topic, I want to highlight and show and give respects to those that have been to prison and that are doing the right things in today's society. Everybody go to OGHollywoodspeaks.com and get that Savage Drive. If you got the drive it takes to be successful, man, support him. Also, you can follow him on YouTube. You can follow him on all social medias at OGHollywoodspeaks.com. We appreciate the support here at CEO Talk, and we also like to support other black people doing something positive, man. Savage Drive, that is the clothing line. Get yours today. So